For the pairs that we go through every single morning, I want to see y'all's best 3-line analysis. So I posted on Discord this morning. Get your 3-liners ready to post. And I'm going to give you all a few seconds. We're going to start out on the NASDAQ if you want to prepare NASDAQ first, US 30, oil, gold, and then currencies. So that could be like all the different things that we look for, the 3 things: signal day, peak formations, on the day itself, you know, what am I looking for? Just give me a 3-liner. I'm trying to help everybody kind of prepare, just doing these live streams, to be able to do this stuff on your own. So if you can get the practice in, and then you all sit there and you tell me what you think, and then I come back and I'll show you my analysis, and I'll walk you all through it and see kind of, you can compare and contrast. I think it'd be a good little exercise. We'll give it a shot. You know, if it doesn't work out and it kind of stinks, we won't do it again. But if it goes well, then, you know, and everybody's participating, then I'll keep doing them. Otherwise, I'll just go back to what I've been doing. Morning, everybody. FX, good to see you. I'm definitely looking for, this is one of my first attempts to try and make these live trading sessions a bit better. All right, good morning, everybody. This is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not take anything I'm saying as buy and sell signals. Trading is risky. Most traders lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education purposes only. Fantastic. All right, so like I was just saying, for everybody who maybe just joined in and tuned in, we're going to do something a little different this morning, and I'm going to try and use these opportunities, these live trading session opportunities, as a way of kind of, it was running them kind of like my whenever I do my webinars, my weekly webinars. This is how I would work with the students and the people that take that opportunity. I would come into the session in the morning with them and look at what happened the day before, and I would just walk through them with the analysis process. And, you know, they would give me their thoughts and things like that. And I think this is a really good opportunity for us to do the same here, even over on YouTube. So let's do that. Whenever I put up a pair, we've got all the pairs listed over here on the right, and I'm going to pull this over a bit so you can see, and that way you can prepare your 3-line analysis. We're going to start off on the NASDAQ here, and I've got a few things up here already. Let's see. I'm going to wait for you all. Throw your analysis up there, what you think on the NASDAQ, what you're seeing personally, and of course I've kind of already butchered the first one, and that's my fault. The rest of them, I made sure to have them cleared. But for today, you know, what happened the past 2 days that would lead us into what to look for today. I'll give you all a few seconds. You toss up what you think. Give me your best 3-line. Signal day. Peak formations, levels of rise. And then, of course, you know, what we're looking for on the day. Am I looking for a buy low or am I looking for a sell high? All right, let's get into it. So 1-hour chart. We've been coming off of down. We've been going down. Good stuff. We've identified that. Multiple days of breakouts leading us into the beginning of this current week. And at the beginning of the week, of course, we have a peak formation now at the low of the current week. That was our opening range, and that was an inside day. And a first green day. And then yesterday, obviously we had this very large expansion breakout to the upside. which is beautiful. And probably a bit of like this, right? Inside day, inside bar, range expansion of the opening range yesterday on Tuesday. Strong breakout to the upside. All right, so that's what we've got. Closed out of balance on Tuesday. And then now today on Wednesday, the third day of the week, we've got 3 sessions outside of a breakout. Let's go down to the 5-minute chart and take a little look. Did I have a signal day yesterday? No. The first green day, inside day, came on Monday. Yesterday, obviously, long trade. And then now today, 3 sessions outside of a breakout. So the high of day and the breakout level are my levels of reference for coming into the day. Peak formation low. Do I have a low in place as of right now? I would argue and say no. I don't see any W's at the low of the day. All I have for reference is yesterday's close and, of course, the previous day's high. As for peak formations made at the high of the day, yes, I do. All right, so I have a high in place. I can draw and project that across 3 days of breakouts and a high of day in place. Now, the day, of course, has traded down, and that's the low of day, whatever. But this is the level or reference point that I'm going to watch as we continue into the beginning of this session. Am I looking for a buy low or a sell high? That's going to really come down to timing and what happens between now and 9:30. We have news on the calendar for 8:30 this morning. It's on TradingView. It is not on Forex Factory. And then, of course, we do have that 10:30 news for oil, and we've came off the low of the day. We've came up once and, of course, twice. Not really particularly worried about any of that. I am really just going to be watching these levels here, and 9:30 is the time that I need to be watching. Third day of the week. My only question, as far as like thought process, will this breakout hold today on the third day of the week, Wednesday? Will the breakout of this level hold, or is this a strong parabolic breakout to the upside, breakout pullback continuation? For the breakout pullback continuation, would I actually be willing to take that trade? Probably not. Unless, of course, it presented in a certain way. But I'm going to put this up here on, this is just for pump and dump. I had no signal day yesterday, no 3 days of breakouts, nothing like that. So that is my only reference on this pair. All right, US 30. I'm not going to give you all too much time on this one because it's pretty much the same thing as the NASDAQ for the most part. Peak formation was made at the low of the week. Well, actually, it was the low of Friday, excuse me. And then, of course, on Monday, we broke out of Friday's high, peak formation low, peak formation high. Yesterday, parabolic trend trade back up through the high, and now we have closed again as a breakout of Monday's high, and we've closed up top. On the day, framing the day, peak formation at the high of the day. We've triggered previous day's high already on this pair, same as the NASDAQ, and they have been trading back down into or towards the low a couple of times. All right. Now, I do have a low in place on this pair, or on the US 30, because they put in a peak formation low at the low of the day, this larger W. Again, my levels for reference, we've got the close, previous day's high, and of course the low of the day. Those are my reference points, the peak formations that are made. Am I looking for a buy low or sell high? The timing of the day is going to tell me. Depending on what level we are at and the behavior once we get there, that is going to tell me all the information that I could possibly need. And the breakout of Monday's high, my question to myself needs to be, will the breakout of Monday's high succeed, or is it going to fail on the day? Gazo, you're asking about levels. 1 hour chart. Peak formation was made from Friday. Trend line trick 1. I had this marked as 3, and I'm thinking that obviously that's not correct because we've continued to go higher. So this is kind of a 1 and a 2, and then maybe now we're up into 3. And again, those levels of rise, they are just a guide. It is a reference for whether or not we're up high or down low. Those 3 levels of rise and fall are never going to be objective, but I can use that as a reference or as some sort of guide to kind of help me identify the stair-stepping pattern or help me better identify the weekly template. So kind of a 1, 2, and then 3 to the high. Very nice rectangular consolidation. So regardless of any of that other stuff, I do like this pair. Same as the NASDAQ. I'm really liking the indexes and how they are trading right now. Not because they're my favorite pair or anything like that, but because we're trading out of balance. You know, we've got large expanding markets, and it's the third day of the week. We've got a large room, or a lot of room to get back down to the low, and also from where that dump began, there's still a lot of room to get up there. So if maybe this was a rectangular consolidation on the day itself, oh, wrong box, no big deal. I can look for maybe a range expansion opportunity of the day, whatever it may be. All right, we're on the third day of the week. We will see. Let's see. Okay, so next pair. This is going to go back up in with the NASDAQ as well. Oil. I'll give you all a few seconds. Tell me whether or not you think buy low, sell high. Did we have a signal day yesterday? All those types of things. Jimmy, we're going to gold here in a few. Gazo, I'm pretty sure that you meant first green. All right. Good stuff. So I'm going to look back. Peak formation high, peak formation low. Peak formation low was made on Monday. Tuesday, they built a box. They traded back into the low. Parabolic trade. Yesterday, I went long on oil for a little bit of a scalp. I kind of didn't hold on, probably like I should have. No big deal. And now that leads us into today, Monday, Tuesday, now Wednesday. Tuesday's high is the high of the current week. We've triggered the high and broke back down into the low, or back down towards the low. Let's go down and frame our day. If yesterday was a first green day, take a look and frame the day and see, is today going to present maybe as a buy low opportunity? We had a higher high and a lower low on the inside, peak formation at the high of the day, and you can kind of count the consolidations, the stair stepping its way back down now on this 5-minute chart. We got one consolidation back down after the peak formation high was made. We got kind of a second consolidation back down, and then maybe now a third consolidation back down to the low. Well, whether or not this is going to be, 3 levels of drop for the trend continuation, or whether, maybe this breakout is failing now and we're dumping back down towards the low, is all going to be determined about, with the timing. Am I going to get my trade down from this level? We've already stair-stepped it back up prior to the session even beginning, and we're back in consolidation. So do I want to go long from this consolidation? I would argue and probably say no. I would much rather wait for a larger pattern, a larger rectangle to build. This is definitely maybe a break in structure. Low, high, lower low, higher high. But I don't want to get caught trying to go long on something that's breaking back down because we're at the high of the current week on Wednesday. Definitely something to think about. First green, it's buy low of day, buy low of session. So I want to buy the low of the day and I want to buy the low of the session. That's my analysis on this. That's it. Yesterday was first green, but they ran it into the close. And remember what I'm talking about when I've talked about running things into the close after first green day. You have to be very careful that it doesn't start breaking back down, coming out of this rectangle at the high of the day and also the high of the week. And then they start pulling back all day long. Oil, I think, did this last week as well, where I thought it was first green, and then it rolled over. I think it was that day right there. Might have been. Anyways, But when the first green day runs up into the close, you do need to be careful not to start counter trending something that is maybe not necessarily counter trending, but it's pulling back and you're trying to go long and it's still pulling back. That is where the 3 levels of drop is going to help me. And I want to be getting in down at the low of the day if that presents. We have a higher high, so I'm looking for 3 pushes back down. That's pretty simple to me. Maybe like a little stair-stepping pattern back down into the low of the day. 9 o'clock. We have news at 10:30 today. So, if we come back down here, 9:30, 10:30, whatever, maybe we'll see that. Okay, that's it for this. I'm going to put this into first green. I'm going to add myself a little note. All right. And I'm going to move on. Let's go to gold. Gold. Let's hear those 3 liners. What do you all see? Did we have a signal day yesterday? Where's the peak formations? I know that part's probably going to be a bit hard to put in a 3-liner. Gold. All right. Y'all are typing. I'm going to get going. Peak formation was made at the low of the current week on Tuesday. That gives us a low of week reference. Monday broke out of Friday's low and closed outside. Same thing with Tuesday. They broke out of Monday's low and closed on the outside. Rectangular consolidation on gold. And I can kind of see the peak formation that was made at the high of the day, and it's broke back down under that rectangle. That's really it. I didn't have any sort of signal day yesterday. I've got 1 day of breakouts, 2 days of breakouts. Let's go down. Peak formation was made at the high of the day. And you can use that little trend line trick. Identify the levels. So we got 1 down right now. Now, I've got a couple questions for myself. Number 1, is this rectangular consolidation is this breakout going to succeed or is it going to fail? That's one thing I'm thinking about. Number 2, if this is level 1 consolidation, where do I need to be taking my trade? I want to be taking it from kind of the high of the consolidation, or, this kind of looks like maybe getting sort of this descending triangle effect. Could be a low-hanging fruit. Breaks down, makes a run back down to where that pump began at the beginning of the current week. Down here. Those are my current thoughts. We are at the low of the current week, so, take that with what it is. We haven't triggered previous day's high or low on this pair. All I have is my end-of-day consolidation as a reference, previous day's close. Vivek, good to see you. Now, I want to put a little disclaimer out there that none of these pairs that I've looked at have gave me a warm and fuzzy. None of them. I like some of them more than I like others. But when I pull up the chart this morning, none of them on the 3rd day of the week has made me jump out of my chair and say, man, this is great. I know exactly what I'm looking for. So as I'm going through this analysis this morning, I want you to keep that in the back of your head, that the timing of the things that are occurring, I might not know that my setup is presenting until we get to that level at a certain time of day. We've got a lot of time before I'd even be willing to take a trade. But what I'm doing right now is at least establishing a level and a thesis. The levels are going to give me the thesis about whether or not the breakout will succeed or fail. And then once we get to those levels and the time of day and the pattern has developed a bit further, I can get a better thesis about what is going on days like this, where I don't come into the session with an overwhelmingly, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's overwhelmingly clear what I'm looking for, even just over here on the day. All right. So I'm going to continue on. Let's go to US dollar, Japanese yen. What in the world? Now that's interesting. The dollar yen has been in this crazy consolidation pattern. Man, I got to tell you, I don't really want to guess. And I'm not going to. I've looked at it for more than a few seconds. Let's go down to the 5. There had to have been some kind of news that happened, but these wicks are wild. What's just happened is they built this massive range now. They spiked the high, got everyone going long. They spiked the low. Now everyone's going short, and we're just holding in this box. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. Fantastic. U.S. dollar CAD. Now this one I did have a little bit more clarity on. I looked at this morning and I said, "Hey, that's not bad." So let's talk about it. What do you all think about dollar CAD? I'll give you all a little bit more time on this one. The U.S. dollar Japanese yen, that's wild. The fact that we've been in this crazy consolidation pattern, we've got a few days of breakouts. These wicks are insane. I'm not playing their game. I'll give you all like 30 seconds here on the CAD, and then we'll go and take a glance. And here we go. All right, so 3 days of breakouts coming off of last week. Once, twice, 3 times. We've obviously been in a down moving market. All right, we're coming off of peak formation high made from last week. The breakout of last week's high failed. All right, so from 2 weeks ago, peak formation high, it's failed, and we've been trailing back down. And a bit of this kind of channeling pattern here, and I know that a channeling pattern is not necessarily a trading setup. That's not what I'm getting at, but the way that it's consolidated on the way down, and then now we've come down and put in a peak formation at the low of the week and pumped up off the low. Okay, so that's what I've got. 3 days of breakouts. The breakout level from yesterday, stopping out those breakout traders. We've hit stops now. Come down to a 5-minute chart, and we've got peak formation low at the low of the day. Now, this one, the reason I'm spending a bit more time on this one is because I came to the screen and I said, hey, this pair looks better. This pattern is more clear. Peak formation at the low of the day, and it's made a run. And then it's broke out and continued. Then we get a run. It breaks out, pulls back, and continues. And then it goes back into consolidation at the high of the day and makes that run. So 1, 2, 3. Peak formation high could be forming right now at the high of the day after stops have been hit. This pattern is gorgeous. Now, I don't know for sure. The timing of the day is a bit strange. The fact that we're starting to move at 8:30 in the morning, not around the times that I look to take trades. However, when you think about the aspect of, well, what are you looking for, Cam, on any given day? I would say that if this pattern showed up at 9:30, this would be my perfect pattern. This would be my 5-star, beautiful setup that I would be willing to take. So we're up high. We're at the high of the day in a down moving market after stops have been hit. And we may now have a higher high and what could be maybe a lower low being formed right now. All right. So I'm going to designate this as sell high. Uh-oh. And I'm going to, that's a break in structure. That bar just closed. Lower low on the inside. And that's good for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this into pump and dump, and that could be my currency pair for today if I'm looking to trade this pair. You said there's 8:30 news on CAD? All right, good stuff. How much space do we have to get back down? 25 pips. That's not a lot. It's okay, though. Okay, so CAD, I've identified already as a potential candidate. Let's go to Euro USD. Euro USD. All right. What do you all think? Buy low or sell high for today? Yep, JT, it's the same thing flipped over for futures. I know you just said that, and I'm just repeating what you're saying. What do you all think of Euro USD? Do you think it's a decent candidate? Okay. We're getting all kinds of back and forth answers. That's good. Well, let's break it down a little bit. We had a higher high last week, break-in structure that resulted in a peak formation low at the low of last week. And now we broke up to the upside. We're not going to worry about any of that. Inside day for Monday, opening range, Tuesday, initial balance. We traded back up into the high on a Wednesday. That's all we know. The breakout of Monday's high succeeded, and we closed. That's the information that we have at hand. Do we have any sort of signal day on this day? No. Let's go down to a 5-minute chart and just look at the pattern. We had a peak formation high, made it the high of the day. That has made a run, and it's broken down, pulled back, and continued. And then it's made a run, put in a peak formation high, and continued. And then now down at the low of the day, they've built what appears to be a decent little rectangle down here with a peak formation at the low of the day. So regardless of anything else, I have a high of day in place, thinking about the weekly or the daily template. I have a high in place, a nice little rectangle that's formed, and a low of day that's put in place. We've been working the low. All right, that's all I know. And I can come into the session with that thesis in place and look for the pattern to continue. What if they were to break out, for example? I'm just thinking about all the different kinds of scenarios. What if they were to break out around 9:30? What if that breakout failed? That would be a high of week trade with room to go back down. They've been lifting price. We had a rectangle at the high of the week. They broke down and gone sideways. If it were to break down, then good stuff. If it were to work the low of the day in an up-moving market for 3 levels of drop for a long trade, that's fine too. I have no signal day in order to help me sort of, gauge exactly what to look for. So I just frame the day and figure out, is there a good template on the day to trade? I've identified my levels, and I'm going to go into the session with these levels, understanding there's a low of day in place. They've worked it once, twice, 3 times. If this were to work the low of the day and expand back up to the upside, breakout pullback for the continuation in the otherwise larger pattern, the up-moving market. All right. I'm going to put this up into CAD or with CAD. Pump and dump, no signal day. Gaza, I'm glad you brought that up. Inside day, peak formation. We can go back here and kind of look at this as well. It's done 3 levels of rise to the high of the week. So again, helping build the thesis a bit better. This could have been an inside day and 3 levels of rise, and then maybe now we're going to come back down for the stops. Inside bar trader stops down here. So they do have a reason to go back down. That would be a good pump and a dump template. I'm not married to a direction. That's the point that I'm trying to kind of get across with some of these pairs. If I don't say exactly, hey, this is a buy low or sell high, I'm not married to a direction. I'm going to wait for the certain timings of the day and look and see how the pattern continues to develop, because I have a thesis now for short. 3 levels of rise. This could be level 1 consolidation for the low-hanging fruit continuation back down to the downside. That'd be perfect. I'd be good with that. But also, otherwise, in an up-moving market, we have a high of day put in place and 3 levels of drop and a consolidation at the low of day. So I have a theory or a thesis for both, and I'm just going to wait and see which one of these patterns plays out. And if this turns into a parabolic trade back through the high, then good stuff. If it turns into a parabolic short down through the low, then I could take that too. The pound is the exact same thing as the euro, except that the lack of the inside day. Peak formation was made at the low of the week. We've stair-stepped our way up. We're at the high of the week now. They've triggered the high of the day, put in a peak formation at the high of the day, dropped it down a few times, and now we're back into consolidation, kind of at the low of the day. All right. All right, so CAD News has maybe just obliterated that original idea. So we're going to continue to watch this and see. Let's go down here. All right, and that's all I'm going to go into the session with. I don't have anything today that I am jumping out of my chair for. Same thing with yesterday. I really didn't have anything that I was super excited to take or look for. So I'm going to come into this session with a very conservative understanding. I'm going to look for setups, high of day, low of day. Nothing changes. Continue to watch the pattern. If the patterns obliterate my thesis, or if they continue to change the thesis, you guys are going to hear me talk about that throughout this live trading session. Euro JPY is disgusting as well. What did that did that on the news? Man, we're just really wicking in all directions. Okay. Let's get our charts up there. I'm going to get all my boxes up. And on these types of days where I don't come into a session with extreme clarity, extreme, perfect sight, I'm more patient than ever. All right. If I don't start the day and say, I am waiting for this, I am waiting for that, then I'm going to come into that session way more patient than ever before, because, I don't know exactly what I am looking for, and I need to wait for further pattern to develop. And that happens at least a couple times a week. And it saves me. It saves me so much with that understanding of myself. Not even of the market, just of myself. If I don't come in with perfect clarity and knowing exactly what to look for, then stay conservative. The levels are clear. That part's fine. Anyways. Okay, so now we've got that high of day level. We're back at the high of the day now. Same thing. Not same thing over here. We're still in between a high and a low. US 30. This is belligerent. I need to get this smaller. All right. Excellent. So the 8:30 news is played out. I'm not looking for a first bounce or anything like that. It is not set that up for me at 8:30. The news has not projectiled something outside of a range, breaking out of a consolidation. They've just put us back at the high. We're in a consolidation, a rectangle. Gold. News didn't do anything. Still in that rectangle. In fact, we're going to get rid of this. US 30s is fine, but I'm going to put gold up here. I'm going to put oil down here. Now, oil, I have to wait quite a bit, so I'm not really particularly fond. I'm going to get the CAD up there. We're going to remove this. We're going to remove this. So this breakout level, if this turned into trap volume at the low of the week, this might not come back, and that might tell me to stop looking for that sell high. It very well could. It could be a low of week reversal. All right, now let's stay patient. All right, how y'all doing? Does anybody here like have a really solid thesis? Like you've looked at a pair and said, man, that is perfect. I've never seen a better trade in my life. I know exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, if you all are on Discord, on my Discord server, I upgraded the security of the server so that you have to basically verify your phone, because the scammers and things like that in there are really frustrating me. So I apologize for any inconvenience that may cause, but I'm doing my absolute best to keep these people that have no shame from getting money from people and scamming them. So if you all just go in there and you verify your phone, you'll have no problems. All right, it looks like a lot of you do have very solid thesis in place, which is good. That's fantastic. Because at the end of the day, if you just know what you're looking for and you understand the levels and you understand the concepts of consolidation and rectangles and the timings of things, that's really all you need. You build a thesis, you understand what you're looking for and things like that. That's good. Okay, so remember my idea on gold? Is this breakout of this rectangle going to hold? Yay or nay? Or is this turning into a explosive move back up towards the high of the day? You know, that's really all I can do. Wait for the times of day where I'm willing to take a trade, because that's when the market typically has been set up for X amount of hours for that trade to take place. Wait for patterns to continue to develop, and if my thesis begins to change, then I adjust. No, it's not necessarily invalidated. But behavior of price is gonna give me all the information that I need. So basically, if they trade back up into the high of the day, this turns into a down close candle. They trade back up into the high of the day, and it still fails to go higher, and it starts to engulf down to the downside. Good stuff. But what I don't want to do is, what if this week is turning into a strong trending week? Coming off of a down moving market, we've got volume trapped down low. What if this week turns into a very strong trending week, and I'm over here trying to do some weird counter trend stuff when the easy trade is long? That's something I don't want to do. So I need to make sure that, I'm applying everything that I've talked about in the past about, I understand where volume's trapped at a certain time of day, and they've presented the setup for X. Hey, Alfred. Let's see if we can work something out. Email me what you posted. Shoot me a message of what you posted, and if it wasn't warranted, I'll get you back in there. My moderator on Discord, he's very good. He's got everybody's best interest in mind, but nobody's perfect. Neither am I. So if there was a mistake, then let's resolve it. All right. He's been unbelievably helpful to me, so I'm very grateful for him because he's there constantly helping. So definitely hats off to him. Okay, so gold just put in a low at the low of the day. I need to get logged into my broker as well. Make sure I'm on futures. Yesterday I almost goofed. I almost tried to take a trade on the wrong watch list, and I would have been on the wrong pairs, and I would have just been taking a demo trade on accident. That'd been funny. Let's see. Still got to get used to that. Well, say I got to get used to, but I started trading on TradingView now, so I'm not gonna say it's a whole different ball game. It's really easy as far as the transition from MetaTrader over to TradingView has been fantastic. I really have no complaints. It's so much more user friendly, in my opinion. Alfred, if it's that Preston Cam one, that's me. Yeah, my email's on my YouTube. Axe, I'm still on my funded account. And I'm currently with Top Step. If a day of trading fulfills 3-day template from last week, last failed breakout day 1. Hey, Steve, it's probably just my own inability, but I'm not 100% sure what you're asking me. If you could reword the question or somehow provide some context or a pair that you've noticed, whatever you're saying, I can go and get a visual of what you're asking. I'd be more than happy to answer that question. Okay, so the CAD was definitely, my thesis is wrong. I'm just going to flat out scream that from the rafters. All right, this thesis is wrong. There's volume caught down low, and they are now expanding to the upside. Fantastic. Now, they are about to trigger previous day's high, which is good because that's one of the levels. But my original idea about what was happening is wrong. Cool, we've established that. I'm gonna get rid of this. That might develop into something else later. That's fine, but I'm gonna come down and monitor. So this lower line here was Monday's high. Remember my thought statement at the beginning of this is that high going to hold? Is the breakout going to fail? Is this a pump and a dump template? Those are my thoughts. Same thing with the NASDAQ. Gaza, if you've got 3 levels or you've identified 3 levels and they're very, very, very clear, I'm talking like there's no doubt in my mind, hey, that's 3 levels, and they spike, let's say that they're going up. So you say, hey, that's peak formation low, and they've come up once, twice, 3 times, and it spikes down like this, puts in a peak formation, and you're like, okay, that was 1, 2, and 3, and then they continue to go higher. You can expect 3 more levels from there. All right, basically a reset, and they're going to keep going for another couple days or something like that. You might be in a strongly trending market. Again, that could be a larger range expansion on a higher time frame, and their market can't just always go up 3 and down 3, because then, I mean, that would just be a trading range, a forever trading range. All right, we got at least 10 minutes to the new hour. And then, of course, we've got 30 minutes or 40 minutes until New York Open. Tell you all right now, looking at this, it kind of hurts a little bit because you might feel like you've missed it, but you may have not missed a thing. All right, what if they pump it back up into the high one more time? What if 9:30 opens and spikes the high? What if 9:30, what if they pump it back up and go into consolidation? 9:30 opens and goes vertical. Like, there's so many things that could happen. This might be the beginning of something, but I don't really feel like I've missed anything. I feel like it's just starting to set up, or it could be starting to set up, or if I have missed it and it just keeps on running to the low, well, whatever. I mean, it's whatever. I'm not going to chase this. They broke down. They pumped it up 1, 2, 3, put in this little breakout, fake out bar, and ran. It is what it is. It's not doing it exactly at the time of day that I would prefer to see, and that's part of what keeps me patient is understanding the clock and knowing my times of day to actually physically look to take a trade, and for a good reason too. 9:30's open. It's for a reason. 9:30 to 10 o'clock, 9:30 to 10:30, like that is my hour window. Coming in early and talking with you all starting at 8, that's kind of like the preparation. That's the beginning of the thought process and the thesis building. I've already seen one pair that has just absolutely annihilated my thoughts. They ran up, triggered previous day's high. It could still maybe be a sell high, but am I going to, lose my mind and start freaking out because I don't know what's happening? No, I'm just going to go and find something that I think is a better candidate. I still think gold and these two are decent candidates. So I'm just going to keep watching, and we'll wait and see. Let's just wait for a beautiful pattern. Second lowest line. Talking about this one right here as the breakout level of Monday. Oil pulling back or maybe even going vertical. 3 minutes to the new hour. Neil, I'd say I'd probably take, 2 or 3 a week. There are some weeks where I'll take a trade every single day. But I have been, especially lately, I really have been trying to be more selective. And I've always been fairly selective, but, even more lately, really focusing on like a day like today where, yeah, it's Wednesday and things like that. But if I come in and I look at it and say, this isn't perfect or, it's not exactly what I personally would love to see or something like that, I'm very, very okay with just not taking it or missing a trade or something like that, because there's always going to be another. And those days where you see it and it really is just perfect and you're like, that's the one that I want. I would rather focus on those days. So, 2 to 3 a week. It's kind of like my ideal amount. Now, if I take one of those trades, I do kind of come into it with the mentality that it should go at least 25, 50. And I was talking about it yesterday about I'm really trying to, like I said, not only be more selective, but focus on some pairs that are going to make larger runs, 20, larger than 50, 75, 100. I've been trying to get better at not only, I'm good at identifying those trades, but one thing that I've struggled with is actually physically holding on. I've been really good at taking 25, 50 out of the market consistently and doing it with size so that it's effective. But if I've identified the trade as something that's going to go more than 50 and then I only take 50, I'm starting to really feel like that's a failure on my part and I'm not improving. You know what I mean? So I've really been focusing on not only identifying the trades, which I already am pretty good with, but actually holding for the larger move. Sitting on my hands, waiting for the trade, and then sitting on my hands to get out of the trade as well. Always trying to get better. Hopefully that answers your question, Neil. Alfred, do I look to add more elements? No, this is, if you've ever listened to me talk about charting and things like that, the more things I have on my chart, I start to panic. It makes me like, no, I don't like that. I like clean and clear. 3-day cycle can be good. First red, first green, those are good. Consistently looking for 3 levels of rise and fall. That's really good. High of day, low of day trades. Perfect. That's all I need. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's kind of my thoughts on that. What I've been doing is working very well. And I'm just going to, I'm going to stick to that. Okay, so we're into that new hour. We're 2 minutes in. Something I like to do is mark off that new hour's candle. Helps me to tell the story of what's happening. And honestly, it helps me to identify trap volume. Helps me to identify where people could be caught trying to trade into the high or trade Trading to the low. Sorry. Oh, that's why. It's like, why is my numbers not working? Probably because you got to turn the numbers lock on, Cameron. You goober. Linda Bradford. I think I've seen her stuff. She talks about Taylor trading technique, correct? Alfred? Which the Taylor trading technique is the foundation of the 3-day cycle, for anybody who doesn't know that. Now, his book is very difficult to read, and I certainly don't keep a little notebook or a spreadsheet with the way that he presents the 3-day cycle, but the idea of the 3-day cycle, if you read Taylor trading technique and look into the way that he talks about a buy day or a rally day, a sell day, and then a sell short day, well, doesn't that kind of sound like first green day and then a long trade the next day and then a sell short day the next day? That could be like a 3-day template, or the 3-day cycle, or whatever, day 1, day 2, day 3. And then coming off of that, you think about Steve Morrow, who talks about weekly templates and weekly cycles and daily templates and daily cycles, and about how everything moves in threes. And then you go to Stacey Burke and you listen to him talk about opening range, which, Dalton, initial balance, talking about things that are in balance and out of balance, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3-day template. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3-day template. So it all starts to kind of blend together, and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's the building of a system. It all starts to come together. Okay, US 30 is at the low of the day. They've came off the high in 3 levels of drop, and they've gone back into consolidation. 9 o'clock opened. They've engulfed the 9 o'clock open. That bottom, I've got too many lines on my screen. It's starting to freak me out. There we go. We're at levels, and I'm down on the 1-minute chart. Things are looking good. Things are feeling good. We've got 23 minutes. I'm going to pop over to my little other screen here. I'm checking all the 5-minute charts just to kind of see what these patterns are looking like. US 30 definitely has my attention. Gold is going bonkers, so I'm not really 100% sure what to look for. So I'm going to keep monitoring, but as far as like, would I want to take a long trade? No. Do I necessarily want to take a short trade? No. But we're going to see. No, I don't usually watch the Russell, James. All right. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, James, the only thing is, the more pairs that I have to watch, the more stress it produces for me. So although I'm not an advocate for having a favorite pair or anything like that, that's certainly not what I'm doing. Although I don't have a favorite pair, I do have my particular basket, that I like to watch. Just because they're consistent. I consistently find trades throughout the week and the days and stuff on those. So I kind of just stick with those. I wonder what natural gas is doing. I still haven't taken a trade on natural gas. What about soybeans? What is the beans doing? No. Gold right now is traded back up into the peak formation high that was set at the beginning of the day. So that's on my other screen. I dragged this across 5-minute chart, put in this larger peak formation at the high of the day, which is also the high of the week. I think, right? No, I take that back. It's not the high of the week. Feel free to yell at me. Trying to shift only to indexes. I mean, so the indexes are really good. They provide a lot of consistent setups, but there are some days where all of the indexes look like absolute doo-doo. So that's where you can revert and find better trading setups on other pairs. Which is why I'll look at oil and gold and say, well, one of these is better, or maybe all 4 of them look like trash, and I just need to not trade any of them, or maybe one of them looked really good, but I only saw it in hindsight, or I just missed the trade, and you know what? That's fine too. In my opinion, the best trade is the one that sets up and is that consistently reoccurring pattern that we all look for, and the one that you actually can see with clarity. And if I don't have all of those things, then so be it. But the good thing is that every single pair, no matter what market you're trading, they all do the same thing. They're all driven off of human psychology. If there was a pair that was not driven off human psychology, then that would be the one that people would probably win on. Which, the market's not going to let that happen, so we will see. I'm going to go rehydrate real quick. I'll be back 30 seconds. All right. Has anything shifted? Has anything moved? Has anything changed? No. Okay. Steven, I'm kind of thinking the same. I need proof. We're at closing price. That's good. We're at the level that I designated from earlier in the day. 5-minute chart, peak formation at the high of the day. We've gone back into consolidation. That's good. We will see. Got 15 minutes to the open. Appreciate that, James. I definitely have. I'm trying to really maintain the let's all just succeed together sort of mentality. So I try to do as much as I can publicly out, and I just don't think that gatekeeping information for people that are trying to learn this is. I don't know. That's just my own personal opinion. I'm sure some would disagree. There's no reason to gatekeep or not do my best to try and share with the world. In fact, someone messaged me yesterday and said that, just from, I think it was, actually it wasn't even a message. I think they just commented and it said that because of what I'm doing here on YouTube and things that they made like $4,000 or something yesterday. And when I hear things like that, and I'm starting to get more and more of those messages from people that have been following along with me for a bit. And I said this yesterday in pretty much every stream, but each day I kind of seem to get more of these people saying this. It's like, well, hot dang, that's the exact reason why I started doing this. So that's fantastic. Once you see the pattern, the only thing you're battling is yourself. That's it. And kind of to piggyback on that, people have been saying that these streams have been helping them become more patient. So kind of saying, if the only thing that you have to battle is yourself, and then these streams help you with your patience, then it's like the second part of the equation, which is awesome. Yep, oil does have inventories at 10:30, so I'm that one's null and void for me for a bit. mindset for NASDAQ. Well, they traded back up into the high, and I had a better mindset when we were up here, I'll tell you that. I wish they would have gone into consolidation or something like that at 9:30. That would have probably gave me a bit more clarity. Made me feel a bit better, but it's okay. We're just going to wait until something's more clear. Let's pop back up. See if anything's changed up here. Okay, that's a peak formation. Somebody asked me yesterday what an A top is and why I can't really trade them, and I'm not very good at them. Complete, transparency. This little 1, 2, 3 up, and then this little, I think it's like a shooting star or whatever. These are what I'm talking about when I say A top. Like, I cannot trade things that just go straight up and then straight back down. I'm just not very good at it. Now on the 5-minute chart, it might look different, and it does. Tony, timing. It's the time of day. I'm just not willing to take a trade really before 9:30, especially getting this close to 9:30. I would much rather just wait and see if a further pattern develops. Kent, that's fantastic. I kind of think this is wrong. I'm removing that. In fact, I'm removing that as well. I think that this is shaping up to be something more like this. This is all I need right here. Removing that. What experience led me to trading? My fiance's brother-in-law got me into it while I was still in the military, and very quickly realized that I've never been so passionate about something. It wasn't just oh, I kind of like this, or this is something that I kind of enjoy. It was, I have a fiery burning passion, and this is what I feel like I should be doing. And I'm still pretty young. I'm only 28, but I'd never felt that way about anything. And I knew that this is what I wanted to do, and I just needed to get better at it. And I'm sure that lots of people probably resonate with that same feeling. And then from there, I just continued on the path. Is Magic Keys available for TradingView? No. No, they only have it for MetaTrader, and I think there's another one. Wasabi, yes, but not. It has nothing to do with this style of trading, so I don't really ever talk about it. I really never talk about investments or anything like that, because that's completely outside of the scope. Euro? see a bunch of people saying GU and Euro all of a sudden. What's up? What's going on over there? There's that rectangle. And what's going on here? Okay. One person said is GU breaking down, and then the other person said, oh, breaking out. All right, let's do, let's put NASDAQ. Oh, we'll put NASDAQ back up there. Oil, I'm not going to be able to do anything until 9:30 or 10:30 anyway, so let's put the euro over here. Let's put gold down yonder. And we'll put US 30 up here. Oh boy. Magic Keys is a trade management calculator. Well, I'll call it a calculator. It looks like a little calculator, and I used to use it on MetaTrader to help trade or manage trades. I didn't really use it for the money management function. I really just use it for the ability to close partials, the ability to put basically like partial take profits on the screen, and then from that function, it would put me at break even and all these different things. And I really enjoyed using it. And I thought that maybe I would miss it more coming over to TradingView, not being able to use it, but it's actually not bad. It's been pretty good. And I still have it sitting here on my little, now it's just a desk ornament. It just sits here. In fact, if I could find the license for it so that somebody else could use it, I'd be willing to give it away. But I'd have to find the license thing for you all to be able to register with it. What is the name of that? Somebody shoot another message in the chat. I can't read. There we go. The plugin on MT5? What plugin? Okay, so this is what the market's looking like coming into 9:30. We've got 4 minutes. I'm going to leave it up here until probably 9:29 on the 5-minute chart. I'm going to shoot back down to the 1. Try and burn these chart patterns into my little skull here. Invention Magic Keys for TradingView. Yeah, if only I was a bit smarter with tech stuff. There's a little W. They just engulf 9 o'clock to the upside. Euro. I definitely think y'all's idea of the euro is probably good. I think I should have probably already been in. I say probably. I should already be in. That 1-minute chart is the parabolic pattern on the 1-minute chart for sure. Spike to high, spike to low, failing to go lower, ascending triangle, peak formation high, peak formation low. It exploded through the high. One full expansion puts you back at, I think, just about the high of the day. Actually, I think that's closing price. One full expansion. Now on my broker page, it's a little different, I think. No, it's about the same. Okay, we've got 2 minutes to the New York Open. NASDAQ going vertical back up towards the high. No more news on the calendar for indexes and gold. The only news on the calendar that I need to be concerned with is oil. Not even concerned. Aware of. I'm aware of it. Okay, we've got all these. That's good, that's good, that's good. All right, let's go down to the one. Emmanuel, that's you're very self-aware. That's good. Okay, 9:30 just opened. Nasdaq spiked up into the high of the day, back up towards or into that peak formation high. I'm going to mark off my 9:30 candles. Let's get the full story. Because there's what the market looks like it's doing, and then there's what the market is actually planning on doing. So we will see. Consolidation, spike the high, spike the low. Oil long. Abdul, I'm not sure what you're seeing there. We got news at 10:30 and it's dumping right now. Maurice, hello. US 30 is at the low of the day. They're doing some work. $9.30 open, spiked the high. Now they've spiked the low. James, yes. If I look and see previous week's high has been triggered, um, it's just a level to be triggered. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got about 2:15 in here right now. You all are fantastic. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully you all have learned or are learning something, whether it's about how I'm trading personally or maybe even it's just a good lesson in patience and really knowing what to look for. Either way, thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Really enjoy having a nice community of people to talk to about trading. It's a blessing. Thank you all. Okay, so this is exactly what I was saying about NASDAQ, and especially on the open, right? They open the market 1, 2, 3 to the high, spike the high 9:30, spike the low. Now they're pulling back up, going back towards the high. Do I necessarily want to just go long here? No, but do I start to build an idea about who they're trapping and where within the market? Oh, absolutely, 110%, because this is telling me right now shorts are trapped in the market, and there's no reason for me to be taking a short trade. So for whatever reason, I was looking to sell at the high of the day or whatever. This is telling me to wait and be patient. Because we might still be, like I said at the beginning of the stream, just because we're at the high of the week and just because we're up high does not mean that the NASDAQ cannot continue in its parabolic upwards trajectory. So I don't want to just assume. I want evidence that I am correct about what I am looking at. I want to see them cause mass confusion, mass chaos, and just wreck people's accounts real quick. And then once they actually choose the direction, as far as like, I've identified this is where people are trapped. We're at the high of the day. That is a trading setup for me. If that were to turn into a reversal, that is something I would be willing to take. We're at the high of the day, high of the week, blah, blah, blah. But almost more importantly than that is knowing when to stay out. Knowing when to just wait and be patient. If you scrunch this up, consolidation, spike the high, spike the low. We're back on the inside of peak formation high and low. This has my attention a little bit more. US 30. I'm still watching gold as well. We've got longs trapped. Look at this. Longs are trapped here, not letting them out. Shorts are trapped here, not letting them out. Consolidation. This black line is the breakout level from Monday. It's Monday's opening range high. Is it going to hold, or is the breakout going to fail? I'm on the 15-minute chart. I just checked, and I see what you're saying. I do think today is a very good illustration of why I wait until 9:30. Why I'm not getting sucked into the nonsense prior to or just thereafter, because, I mean, look what's happening right now. I mean, yeah, this is good. It's whatever. But is that a trading setup that I can take and is repeatable? No, I don't think so. Okay, we got a little W here. Life, good to have you. I don't know if you're new to the strategy in general or this style of trading in general. I do have a playlist on my YouTube channel called Watch in Order. So if anything that I'm talking about here becomes confusing, please feel free to ask questions. But also that playlist is there for you if you would like. I don't trade that way. ICT. That is definitely not something that I'm involved in at all. How long did it take to learn psychology? I'm still learning every single day, trying to chip away. How long did it start to really sink in and improve? Probably about a year. But that was, Paulie, you've been here, you've been listening to me. My daily conversations with those verbal journal entries talking about what I'm doing wrong every single day and hearing myself repeat the same thing, what I'm doing wrong every single day. That's how I kind of accelerated that learning curve, and it was widely beneficial. So anybody who's not necessarily doing that yet, I think that's really important. I was watching the euro, but I'm really focused on the indexes and gold right now. Okay, we've got 10 minutes to the new hour as well. Little descending triangle that's broke down back into the low without it going any lower. We're at the low of the day. We're working the low of the day, which is fine. Of course, it can continue to go lower. I'm very aware and self-aware of that. But of course, that's not a repeatable trading setup. Trading into the low of the day, short, with no pump up at all. It's just consolidation. Euro USD looks fine. Not really willing to hop in it at any point. The pattern looks nice. It's trading very clean. That's all I really have to say about it. One thing, I don't know if you just saw what I did, but I told you I thought there was longs trapped in this area because of the push patterns. We've got people going long at the worst possible place in the chart. We've got people going short at the worst possible place in the chart. They came down, tapped into those shorts, pumped it back up, but they're still not letting either side out. This consolidation is reckless. I don't want to be a part of that. Yep, NASDAQ still 3 sessions of breakout outside of yesterday's range. Now we're back at the high of the day. After 9:30 or coming into 9:31, 2, 3 to the high. We will see. Sergio, that feeling of wanting to take a trade, I've eliminated it because I've been through enough pain. It hurts now far less to not take the trade and miss it than to take the wrong trade just because I wanted to get in. And hopefully that makes sense what I just said. Over time, the amount of pain felt from taking the wrong trade and failing continuously and just FOMOing in is highly overpowered by if I don't take the trade and I just miss it, then whatever. Winning streaks? I think winning streaks are probably more dangerous than losing streaks. A winning streak makes you more overconfident, and then it makes you start doing whatever. I think I'm more conscious of a winning streak than I would be a losing, because I start telling myself, don't be arrogant, don't be, you know, just because you've had a good amount of wins doesn't mean you're going to continue to do so. And I've had problems with that in the past, where it almost starts to feel too easy, which makes me less patient, right? Gold's just in consolidation. I don't see anything right now. The indexes have my attention. Yep, Dean. That's why I'm pretty focused on that right now. Good stuff, Toby. James, that's also my feeling, and my preference is when they give me a little bit more time to think about what I'm doing. So like this is I mean, it is a good pattern. Don't get me wrong. 3 pushes, engulfment, sure. It's a beautiful pattern. It's great. But is that what I personally do to get into the market? No. Tony, if you want to see some of my trades, just you can head over to the community section. There's plenty of them. If I get into something today, then I do, and if I don't, then very well. JP, I prefer to, yes. There's sometimes when the levels are super duper clear and I'm in level 3 at 9:30, then I will not, and I'll just get in. But Tony, if you don't like what I'm posting, man, you can feel free to leave the stream. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm certainly not going to take a trade just because you say I want to see you take a trade. That's literally ridiculous. Okay. Gold's just holding this range. Big sideways consolidation. I'm still watching the NASDAQ, but I like I said, it's been on this larger range expansion. I don't want to get caught in this. If this is just a stop hunt, time is it? Okay, new hours open. That's good. That was a new hours open right there. And on US 30 as well. New hour open right there. And the new hour open over here. Euro broke down, is in this sideways consolidation. Let's see here. 10 o'clock's open was there. Tis good. Go back and check here. What we got going on? I'm watching gold. I'm still watching the indexes in gold. I got a little bit quiet because I'm trying to focus here for a second, but uh, No, gold's not. It's not doing what I'm kind of thinking right now. Let's do it as for the oil inventories. See, some of y'all have taken some trades. That's good stuff. Some of y'all already hit profit targets and things. That's good. Some of these consolidations are just absolutely ruthless. So I'm watching to see, are they going to continue to drag anybody who is long down? Or is this just a stop hunt back down into the low? Because if this is 3 sessions outside of a breakout, we're in the 3rd hour. Is it ready to run, or are we still... Timing just kind of feels weird now. I gotta tell you, New York session, I'm just not really feeling too good about anything. Not at this point. I'm gonna be patient though. We'll wait a few more minutes. Yeah, who's that? Yeah, Cal, the 9:30, you could see them. They ran it right back up. What is oil doing? We got 8 minutes into those inventories. Yeah, the New York set, it kind of just went back into a range bound market, didn't it? Nothing really presented perfectly. Or maybe it's setting up for the afternoon, or maybe it's setting up for the backside of the week, you know, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday template. Yeah, Stuart, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Maybe it's not a might not be a morning session trade at all. It's really built a box of ridiculousness. Look at this, 8 o'clock, and we've just been coiling sideways, which is fine. But um, as far as actual thinking about real trading setups, I just haven't been able to identify something that I'd be willing to get into. Pretty much everything too. US 30, garbage. Gold, coil, sure, but just sideways consolidate. US session, same thing, or indexes, same thing. That's true, Johan, but it's if you get caught in this 3 hour coil at the high or at the low, trying to guess direction, then and you're caught, and we're in a 50 plus pip box. You're gonna get whipsawed from here to Sunday. Yep, exactly. After it leaves the box, that's good. Oil inventories are in 3 minutes. Make sure I skip these ads for you all. There we go. They sure are coiling sideways for something, though. To me, NASDAQ is still trapping shorts. I mean, they keep on ascending the close of these down close candles. Like it's ready to squeeze to the upside. So if this was turning into a coil for a downside move, I would need to see them at least start letting out the shorts. They've spent a lot of time down here at the low. 10 o'clock. Basically 9:30. We've been in consolidation since 9:30, just coiling sideways. People are just getting absolutely wrecked right now. Whipsawed back and forth. Oil, NASDAQ, gold, everything is just beating people up in a range. No, I don't think I'm yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to call it a day here. You have a great rest of your day. I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. I'm getting married in a couple days, so might be a bit difficult to do these streams in the back half of the week. But you have a great rest of your day. I hope you all have learned something. Kind of a rough day. A lot of coiling sideways and catching people in consolidations and things. So it is what it is. You all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.